Hello, and welcome to Faith, Family, and Focus, where we're growing in our faith, focusing on our family, and allowing ourselves to focus on ourselves. Welcome to the first episode. This episode has been a long time in the making, right? I have spent months contemplating doing this, right? Um, just wrestling with myself, really, wrestling with myself about like, will I be good at it? Will people listen? And I just came to the conclusion that I am going to step out on faith. Again, this is Faith, Family, and Focus. And so we'll dive into topics that relate to faith, family, and focus, and focus on our mental health, physical health, you know, education, spiritual, whatever. Like focus, anything that allows you to focus on you, your um, self care, all of those things, right? And so today's episode, however, being that it is the first episode and being that this particular exercise of even creating a podcast is an act of faith, right? So today's episode is going to be about faith. And I'm going to title this episode Faith the Size of a TTLA Sandwich. So I guess you're like, what is a TTLA sandwich? Well, let's go back. I don't know. It's 2023. I think this was like 2017. So I guess it was maybe like that would be 6 years ago. Um, when I was on Facebook or whatever. I don't remember. I think it's probably Facebook because that's really the only social media I do besides YouTube. So I'm on there, and there's this lady who is driving her car. Well, she's actually taking a lunch break, but she's eating in her car, and she's talking about this sandwich, right? This is the best sandwich she's ever had. It's a TTLA sandwich. We later find out that it's not actually called TTLA. It's called something else very close to TTLA, but um, it's a TTLA sandwich for the purposes of her video. Well, she talks about how amazing the sandwich is and how you need to get one, honey. Well, this lady goes viral about this sandwich that she got from Whole Foods, right? From Whole Foods. I done made up a whole new store, but Whole Foods. So she goes on and she, you know, talks about this sandwich, and the next thing you know, oh, Jed's a millionaire. But Jed, her name isn't Jed. Her name is Tabitha Brown, right? And so, um, one of the things that Tabitha Brown said early on is that God told her to just turn on her video camera and start making videos for online, and how she was hesitant to do it, right? Because she was an actress, right? I'm an actress, and I cannot dare be seen on the likes of the internet and such. I need to be taken seriously, right? Well, she goes on, she decides that she's going to step out on faith and start making these videos. And she makes this video about this sandwich. It goes viral. Next thing you know, Tabitha's everywhere. And I mean, literally, here we are 6 years later, which in the grand scheme of time is so small. But in 6 years, Tabitha has gone from driving Uber. I believe she was driving an Uber that day, a Uber or a Lyft. And she went from driving Uber and Lyft to having this empire where, I mean, I just brought a whole bunch of Tabitha Brown stuff from Target, a couple of weeks ago. So, she stepped out on faith. She had the faith to just do what God told her to do. And so, um, that story resonates with me as it relates to this podcast. I mean, I really needed, or I don't know if I needed, but I needed some type of motivation to help me figure out how to do this because I will be honest with you, public speaking is not my thing. I loathe it. And here I am with a podcast, right? So how does one do this? And how does one go from doing something that they hate to now talking to people all the time? Well, I think the first thing is you have to be passionate about what you're talking about. So I'll tell you a story. When I was in college, there was this communications class that um, you had to take in order to graduate, right? And most people took it their freshman or sophomore year. Well, I decided that I wasn't going to take it my freshman year, but I would take it my sophomore year. So it was my sophomore year. I think it may have actually been the second semester of my sophomore year. So like I held off as long as I possibly could. And I took the class, and as I'm taking the class, well, let me back up. In this class, um, my college wasn't that big, so I knew the people in the class. I knew a good bit of the people in the class. Um, and then there was this guy in the class who I thought was kind of cute. Um, so add him to the mix. Um, and I was like, these people are okay to talk to one-on-one, but I don't want to talk in front of all of them. I don't want to do it. It's not my thing. I am a computer science major. The only thing I want to talk to is my computer. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to talk to a room full of people. And I know what you're going to say, oh, you're an introvert. And I am an introvert. I don't like talking to a large group of people. But I could have a good conversation with 2 or 3 people all day. But if you get me beyond 2 or 3, it's a problem. So we take this class, and this class is going on throughout the semester. Well, in order to pass this class, you have to do this speech. In this speech, you have to basically take all of the things that you've learned over over the semester, and make this convincing speech. Lord knows I did not want to do this, okay? So I had worked on it, and I decided that I actually was going to do a speech on your GPA not defining who you are. And the reason why I felt like I wanted to do this is because I was a computer science major, and I felt like being a computer science major and having a 3.0 was not the equivalent of having a 3.0 and being, I don't know, a pottery major. Lord knows, I don't know if pottery is a real major. And if it is, honey, I am sorry if I am offending you. Take it up with Miss Owens. Miss Owens was my high school AP US history teacher, and that was her favorite major. To be like, unless you're going to go and major in, I don't know, pottery, then I don't want to hear it. That's what she would always say. So if you have an issue with me using pottery, your issue is with Miss Owens. It is not with me. I digress. So I'm working on the speech. I'm in my room. I'm talking. I'm practicing this speech. I am going to kill this speech. I am going to murder this speech. The people are going to love this speech. And then there came the day where I was supposed to tell or give such speech, right? And so I get up in front of the room, and I have my note cards in front of me, and I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm so ready. And then I noticed that there are people looking back at me. Who are you? I mean, I know you, but who are you to judge me? Like, I don't need your judgy eyes looking at me. And I start off the speech, and I'm definitely like, what is a GPA? It, it, oh my God. All of these people are looking at me. So at this moment, I decided I can't take it anymore. I cannot do this. The people are not, I'm not going to do this. And you know what? And you, sir, are not going to mess up my GPA because of this stupid class. So I start crying because that's what any good speech giver would do. They would cry. So I'm crying. And the professor, God bless him. He says, honey, go on, honey, go on. And I was like, I can't. And he's like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And like, I can't. And he's like, honey, you can. And like, I can't do it. I can't do it, sir. I can't. I hate this class. Oh, y'all. I went on for the next 2 to 3 minutes, letting these people know how much I hated this class and how stupid I thought that it was that someone like me, a computer science major, would have to get up and give a speech to 30 people. This is ridiculous. This is stupid. And I'm done. As I felt my academic career flushing down the drain, I went back to my seat and just cried. Now, the guy who I thought was cute, he was sitting next to me. He was so nice. He did reach out and touch my hand, which may have been probably the highlight of that day. So we come back. I guess it was maybe like the next time we had class. So whatever the next time was. And the teacher hands me a note card. And this note card is supposed to have my grade on it from my test. I refuse to look at it from the speech. And I refuse to look at it. I don't want to look at it. I don't need to look at your F, sir. And then I'm like, it shouldn't be an F though. It should at least be a D. I should get a D for effort. And I'm up here like weighing, like, well, I think I got an A in this class and a B in this class that could kind of offset this D, but it's going to mess up my GPA. And I looked at the paper and I made an A minus. What? I see this A minus in the corner. So now I decide, well, let me read the notes, honey, because how did I get an A minus? And the teacher said, although you did not stick to the original topic, the speech that you gave on why you hate this class was amazing. Passion. Okay? I say all of that to say passion. And so what I hope that occurs as we go on this journey together, talking about faith, family, and focus, is that you guys will see my passion for my faith, my passion for my family, and the passion that I am gaining for focusing on myself. Like many working women and moms, I have allowed myself to not focus on me anymore. And in doing so, my hair look a mess, my face look a mess, my body look a mess, and, and I feel a mess. And so one of the things this year in 2023 is allowing myself to focus on me and not feel guilty about that. And so as I was talking about passion, I have passion for my faith. I have passion for my family. And I have to learn to allow myself to have passion about focusing on me without feeling guilty. And that's one of the things that I plan to document during this podcast journey with you all. So I just want to say, welcome to Faith, Family, and Focus. I hope that you will be with me on this journey as I step out on faith the size of a TTLA sandwich to start this podcast. Thank you and have an awesome, awesome rest of your day. Goodbye.